I'm a believer that you stay true to your passion and you never compare yourself to anybody else's journey because you never know when your season's going to come. And it's at a time sometimes when it's least expected. But as long as you stay on your path, your due season will come. It may not look like someone else's, but you stay on that path and keep loving what you're passionate about.
I want to welcome you to Dream Chasers Radio, Golden Rule Media Entertainment, and courtesy of Never Stop Entertainment. I am telling you what, never stop, never stop. I am telling you, I have just like admired this next guest for a very long time. I mean, he had the song that the whole year I was playing it when it came out, and I annoyed everybody. Okay, everybody. I want to thank you guys so much for tuning in. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and comment on this video. And I'm just going to show you the song because I have to. I have to definitely show you guys the song. It is Mr. Kenny Lattimore, and his song "For You" was like the bomb back in the day. Oh my gosh, here it goes. I'm getting to it. This was it. And he still has that beautiful voice today. Oh my gosh, yes.
For you, I'd give a lifetime of stability. Anything you want of me.
I'm gonna stop. I'm gonna stop. I gotta stop. Because if I don't stop, it's gonna be terrible. I'm gonna be singing that whole song throughout the day and it's just gonna have him sitting on the side waiting for him to come in. Welcome to the show, Mr. Kenny Lattimore. How you doing?
Thank you for having me. Thank you so much.
Uh,
And thank you for the compliments on For
oh
You.
my God.
It's
Your
definitely been a
voice,
magic moment.
your voice was so soothing. It was like
Thank
I heard it and I was like,
you.
yes, yes, yes.
I
And you
do
still
appreciate it.
definitely. So, okay, so I always like to go back because this show is all about you, but it's also about your journey,
Sure.
musically speaking, when you found out that what was your first hit? Because I know sometimes people think that that song was your first hit, but it's not.
Actually,
What was when was?
my first single was a hit song, "Never Too Busy," and it
Mm,
was a top R&B song, and my first time doing a video and all that, so I really felt like a star. I was like, "Whoa!" All these people in the production and everything that was pulled together to make that song translate to the audience was pretty amazing to me.
yeah, yeah.
Mhm.
I
"For You"
get
was
it.
actually the third single from that album.
See, I knew it. I knew
Yeah.
it. It's never really the one that everybody hears. It's like it's like that step up. It's a step up, and all of a sudden, boom!
Yep.
It reaches to different places and
It
at different times. So you just never know.
It's so
Wow,
true.
wow, wow.
So true.
So tell me about that journey when that started to hit. Because how long were you in the music industry before you got your first hit?
Mm. Wow. I came into the industry pretty young. I was probably like in my late teens, and it was around 87,
Mm,
87, not 97. And I signed a record deal with a group called Maniquin, and we worked with Charlie Wilson from the Gap
mm,
Band, Uncle Charlie, Charlie Singleton from Cameo, Bernie Worrell from Parliament Funkadelic. So it was a totally different era of music.
yeah, yeah, it
And
was.
we released our album in '88, which did not become a huge commercial success, but it was some of the best experiences I could have ever had. And it prepared me for my solo career. So,
Mm,
all the way back then, I didn't release my own solo project until '96. So, almost
mm.
10 years later, I released my solo album, Kenny Lattimore, which produced the song For You. And of course, started with Never Too Busy.
Now you are overnight success.
Yeah, exactly. That
Isn't
was
that
quick.
strange? Oh
10
my
quick
god,
years.
10 quick years. Yeah, I always say that doesn't happen. Overnight
Right.
success. That's just like that's what you see, but that's
If
not what
it does, I think it's dangerous because a lot of times
happens.
you have people now, some people do have, like, the talent contest, like, American Idol, things like
Okay.
that, And what people don't realize is when you don't have the foundation for the success, it's more difficult to navigate. I've met young talent that had some fame on some shows like that, and then they didn't win, for instance. But then you're like famous and poor and
Hmm.
unguarded and unsecure because people know you now and they think you have money and you become a target. So it can be a lot of things to navigate for sure.
Definitely, I agree with you. I agree with you. I know that there was a couple of people like I had the lady from Escape. She said that they were famous before they got the money, and
Yes.
it was really
Yeah.
difficult to. It was hard to kind of navigate that, but then the money started to come in. So, but you're right. You have these big shows that people go on thinking that they're going to get famous, and they do.
Hmm.
They get famous, but then they remain vulnerable. It is
Yeah.
dangerous. It
Yep.
definitely is dangerous. Wow.
Absolutely. And
So
I
your
was
love
different,
life.
you know.
Huh?
Yeah. No, and I was thinking my situation was different. Because of my situation with Mannequin, and I had another record deal after that, and I had written for people and all of that. I also worked while I was
Mm,
doing this. I was working at a law firm in personnel initially, answering phones, doing human resources, all kind of things. So I learned to finance my own dreams and to create that that support system so
mm,
that I wouldn't be as vulnerable. So
yeah,
by the time that the Kenny Lattimore project and things came, I had my publishing and writing deals and things. I had money from different sources that allowed me to be stable before I started my career.
that's wonderful. And a lot of people need to know that. You gotta have something else.
Yeah,
You gotta fund your dreams, especially
fund
now.
your dream.
Oh
Yeah,
my gosh,
absolutely.
the music industry today is totally
Ooh,
different from back in the
completely.
80s and the 70s where it was you had to sign with a label.
Yeah,
The label was the ones that pushed everything and music videos and stuff. Now it's you. It's out of your own pocket.
it
I let you
really
do,
is.
and the deals aren't as good unless
Mhm.
you're like Beyonce or somebody
Right.
or Kenny Lattimore or somebody.
It's I my son is doing music and everything now. He's in college, but he's also doing music as well. And I go through the conversations with him all the time. And I'm like, if it could only be like the way I remembered, I
Yeah.
could help you even more. But I mean, I'm able to help him in that and direct him. But it used to also just be straight on merit. If you could sing and you were in New York City, for instance, people would just be like, "Oh, okay, we'll sing." And you bring it, and they would say, "Okay, well, let's write something together, or let's be
Hmm.
creative together." And now we're in a position where I think we're getting back to that. We went through a period though where people were almost like they wanted you to come in and see what you were bringing, almost
Yeah.
like the labels. Are you bringing something extra to them? Yes, I'm bringing my gift. I'm bringing my talent. But we have streaming and all of the social media uh, areas that enhance the promotion of your music and stuff now that I can't imagine what it would have been like in 92 if social media was we would have
Oh
been
my
hiding like, oh, no, I don't want this. It would be
no.
so much crazy video and stuff of us growing, um, which is also crazy in terms of vulnerability too, because we got a chance in my era to perfect who we were as artists so that when you saw us, we were at our best. You
Hmm.
didn't get to see us raw and behind the scenes trying to figure it out, making mistakes and all of that. So it's a new thing that artists have to go through today.
Oh
Well,
yeah.
I have to do it now too, but I'm still a lot more seasoned with all of that.
Yeah, yeah, it is, and I agree with you. Growing up in the music industry with my mom, whose albums are on the back there.
Mhm.
It's like okay, we didn't have like cell phones and people with cameras
Yeah.
following us 24/7. There was a lot of things that were done to actually help my mom and help the artists back in those days to
Yes.
become seasoned. That
Yeah.
wasn't in the forefront. It wasn't in the
Yeah.
spotlight. But
Artist
now,
development. Artist
oh my
development
gosh,
was a big
where did
deal
that
at
go? Where did that
publicity.
go? Where did that go? Where did A&R go? Because
They'll still call the department A&R, but
mhm,
A&R is almost about scouting people who are already together and have invested their own money to make themselves prepared for the situation. So it takes a lot of things off of the table that the labels used to provide for us.
I know, I know, and there's so many. amazing people out there with talent
Truly,
beyond
truly.
talent that'll never be discovered because A&R is not looking in that direction anymore.
Yeah,
And they don't
yeah.
know how to go in that
They
direction.
don't know
They
how to do
need
it.
the help. No, they don't. They don't.
And
They don't.
picking the songs. I mean, I didn't know who I was as a full singer on my Kenny Lattimore project. Even on my second one, From the Soul of Man, I was still in a discovery of who am I going to be.
Mm,
Third album, Weekend, I still was like, I don't know exactly who I want to be. I knew I wanted to sing well and I wanted to present myself well. And there's a whole legacy of education and sophistication and class that my parents taught me to carry.
mhm.
But I didn't know for many years. I don't think it was until I did my album, Anatomy of a Love Song, that I really was like,
Mm,
okay, now I'm comfortable in my own skin. And I did an album before that called Timeless. And what people didn't know, because it received different types of reception, because I was doing remakes, they didn't know that I really had felt like I lost myself at a
mm.
time. And I didn't know who I was, what I wanted to sound like again, whether if I was going to stay in the industry, what was I going to become? And I was grateful because an incredible friend of mine who's a great businessman and started my career, Michael Malden, who happens to be Jermaine Dupri's dad too. So when you were talking about Escape,
Right.
they know how to nurture young artists.
Mm.
He said, "Why don't we do this album, Timeless?" And we did this album. We did the album, and it helped me to gain footing and say, "Oh, this is what I sound like. At least this is
Right.
what I look like." I had to go through this whole process
Mhm.
because there are times when you kind of fall out of touch with what's happening.
Yeah, yeah. A friend of mine, Amadeus, he's in the music
Mm.
industry on the rap end.
Mhm.
He was saying how he became depressed. He lost himself because it is a lonely journey. It's
Yeah.
not something that you can do always with other people. A lot
Right.
of times people are looking up to you to make the decisions, and you're like, I don't
Very true.
want to do
It's like, I don't even know how to make a decision. How do I make I'm a kid out here and you're telling me here's $1
that. I
million.
know.
Go
Here's a
invest it. And you're like, what?
here's $1 million. You're like, what do you do with $1 million? I mean, literally speaking, if you don't have that guidance, and like you said, you got lost. It was, I guess, it was in the moment where everything was kind of going up so fast.
Yeah,
The
yeah,
10 years was slow. I mean, think about it. 10 years in the music industry. You're doing the thing, and all of a sudden, boom! It's like, and then boom! Within a year, within 2 years, you've propelled so high, so
yeah.
fast.
On the top of the
You do
world.
get, you can get lost.
Yeah. And then
You
you're
can.
constantly trying to outdo what you did last.
Yeah.
That's the kind of industry that we're in. And we have to be very careful about that, where instead of trying to outdo what you did, how about just keep carving your path? Because each album is a creative expression for that particular time in your life. It's like
Mm,
a one of those they call it a carbon footprint or something like that. That people,
mhm.
it it's always going to be completely different because you're not the same person that you were at 20 as you are at 30 as you are at 40. There's different experiences and things that you might want to express throughout those years.
Yeah, yeah. How important is it to remain yourself? Like,
Mm,
there's a lot of people out there that, oh, I want to sing like her. I want to sing like them. I want to sing like them. I want to sing like Kenny Lattimore. But
mm.
I beg to differ. I think they should be themselves. I mean, how important
Yeah.
is it to
I think
remain true to you?
it's tremendously important to after you figure out who you are. I mean, I imitated everybody too. I talk about that in my show. I sing Luther Vandross, Donny
Hmm.
Hathaway, different male artists that I loved. And it's easier to imitate because you have this amazing reference. I think Ray Charles in the movie Ray went through the same thing where he was such a great imitator of Nat Cole.
Hmm.
And eventually he got to a point where someone challenged him and he became his own. But once he found his voice, that's when it all began. I had to find my voice. I had to listen to the women singing. So I took things from Jennifer Holliday, Stephanie Mills, Anita Baker, Angela Winbush. I
Mm.
took I took all kinds of different things that I had heard through listening to The Quiet Storm, actually in DC. The Quiet Storm radio format was highly influential in my
Right.
life. And
Right.
as I took those nuances, Chaka Khan, all these different nuances, it helped me to not sound like anybody else. And then once I began to embrace my voice, it still took an A&R guy, because A&R again back in the day was important. Matt Jones came to me. He said, "You know what? Use that lighter side of your voice a little bit more." And I was like, "What do you mean the lighter side?" "Well, they it's like a falsetto thing you have." And I was like, "Hmm." And that's when we got into the "I'm not too busy for you." I mean, all these different types of tones and sounds, because he said if you sing that way, you don't sound like anybody else. Now, a lot of people like R. Kelly and Aaron Hall, they were doing these amazing gospel runs and all that, and I could do those. But my A&R director was really smart, and he said, "Yeah, you can do that here and there, but if you do this lighter thing over here, you're going to sound different than everybody else, and everybody will be able to distinguish that it's Kenny Lattimore."
Wow. What's his name again?
Matt Jones.
Matt Jones, thank you.
Yeah.
Matt Jones,
Thank you, Matt.
babe.
Thank
Thank
you,
you.
brother.
Thank you. I'll tell you what, he was right. He was right. And it just touches so many different people. I know that you've touched so many different people with your commitment to your dreams and to your goals. And
Thank you.
you know, you're a man who decided that this is what you wanted to do, and you
Yeah.
became
Yeah.
successful at it. You know, this is your job. This is your chosen field. You
Mhm.
know, I mean, how do you feel when people come up to you and they're so frantic to see you and it's great and everything, but they take it a little bit too far and they say, "Oh my gosh," and they try to rip your clothes off of you or something. How does that make you feel?
Great. No.
No, you didn't. Oh my God.
I've had some very interesting moments. I mean, I've had women jump on my back. That wasn't so cool. I've had women lick my face. Oh, we were talking about that. I was with Lettucey last night, who's one of my favorites. It's a good friend, and we were laughing and sharing our stories about the crazy things that had happened to us in our lives. And I'm at a radio interview one time, and I'm hugging everybody, I'm taking pictures, and all of a sudden this lady just licks the side of my face. I was like, you know, but in the end, as crazy as all it was, I didn't go off and all that. I was like, wow, people are trying to figure out how to connect. Maybe it's a crazy, awkward moment because they just don't know what to do or what to say, but they really want to connect because they feel like the music is you and you're speaking to them. So just like you were talking about playing the song over and over and over again, it's like my voice is in your house, in the most intimate spaces in your life on a consistent basis. So people feel like they know you.
Yeah, yeah. That's true. That's true. I mean, but lick in the face. Okay.
That was
That,
wild. That was a
what?
lot, right?
Okay, so jumping on your back.
Grab my
Okay.
booty. All I was like, hey,
Ooh,
hey, okay.
okay,
So
okay. Yeah, that's my pet peeve right there. Okay, so
uh,
what should a person do when they find themselves in that predicament? They've worked, they've toiled, boom, they got the hit. They're moving forward, they're moving up. How can they understand how to connect with their fans when they're like this? Because they're gonna be like this. It's gonna happen.
yeah, you know what? Put other people in your team to help to create buffers for you so that you don't have to be the bad guy. That's what they teach. If you went to A&R artist development 101, they would say you don't ever want to be the bad guy. Let somebody else be the bad guy. And you let people know what you like and what you don't so that when you walk in the room, if your team has to take you out of the room briefly and bring you back, whatever it takes to create a safe and comfortable atmosphere, that's what you want to happen.
Wow. Wow. And talking about safe and comfortable, you are now married and
Yes.
with a girl. Look at
Yeah.
the girl.
Girl
Look at that
dad.
girl dad hat you got on. How does that feel for you?
It feels amazing. Like all of these love songs that I've been singing, they take on a new meaning. They take on a new meaning because I know that I'll be the first man to teach her about love and
Mm,
about commitment and about um, dedication and sacrifice and a lot of those. I try to put those kinds of adjectives in my songs, and it's great. It makes me live up to the things I've been singing about all of these years, and I feel like I'm up to the task. And
No,
yeah, it's
girls
an
are
honor.
different.
It's an honor.
Girls are different. Girls are good. She's gonna take you there.
She already has me wrapped around her pinky toe. I
I
try
know
to
she
be
does.
cool, but
It's not work. No, no, it's not gonna work, brother. You wait for it. And you have a new song called "Never Knew."
never
Tell me
knew.
about that. How did that come about?
Wow. Years ago, when I say years, I mean like in the last 2 years or so. No, actually, no, because this album has been out almost 2 years. But we're just releasing the single because what's so interesting about the music industry today is when you put out a single, it's taking like 6 months to staying on the charts a lot longer than I remember songs staying on the charts in the past. So I've
Mhm.
released a few, and I held on to this song written by Daryl Simmons, who's a great friend of mine. Daryl Simmons and Mario Pugh. But Daryl did "If I Lose My Woman" back in '98 for From the Soul of Man, and I heard the song. I said, I want to record this one. I think that it reflects what's happening in my life right now,
Mhm. Mhm. I hear you. I hear
and
you.
it happens to be my wife's favorite song on the
I know,
album.
and it's for her.
Yeah, yeah.
That's beautiful. I mean, that's just wonderful. Congratulations on everything.
Thank
I'm
you.
happy that you're happy. You
Oh,
know,
yeah, yeah.
it's hard, to be happy when things aren't going right. You know what I
Mhm,
mean?
mhm, mhm.
But then
Yeah,
when things kind of go in that great direction, you got the baby, you got the wife, the
yeah.
life is good, you got new music. It's just a blessing for us fans, people who love you,
Oh,
to see that your life is beautiful.
oh, wow. Thank you so much. And I try to always bring happiness, even when things are challenging. I try to bring a spirit of joy to whatever I do, because it is like you said, it's work.
It is work.
Relationships, having children, working, all of the things that we do on a daily basis is work, but we have to choose our work, choose our hard. Everything's hard. My son said that at a speech during an internship program once. Choose your hard, because if you want to lose weight, if you want to be fit, that's hard. If you want to lose weight, it's hard. If you want to be married, if you want to be single, it all comes with its challenges. So you just choose which one you're going to do and do it well.
That's right. That's right. Your son's smart, man. Where'd he get that from?
Yeah, I have to ask him that. 'Cause I was like, that's
Wow.
pretty profound.
It is profound, definitely profound. And it comes from you because you're a great father. And that's a
Thank
good
you.
thing.
Wow, thank you.
Definitely, definitely a good thing. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. You're welcome back anytime.
Thank
You have new
you.
music,
Thank you for
new
your support too.
babies, congratulations to your family. Nothing but blessings your way. And just keep bringing music.
I
Okay.
love it.
Just
Thank you.
as long as you live, just bring music. That's all I
Ah,
want.
I appreciate it. I appreciate that. Hey, this is Kenny Lattimore, and you're checking out my newest song. It's called Never Knew, and it was written by Daryl Simmons and Mario Pugh. All of the visuals that you see are from a great friend of mine. Also, his name is Ron Young, and it happens to be my wife's favorite song. Well, baby, it's about you, and you're checking it out with Yaya Diamond.
Girl, I think that I should let you know that before I met you, I let go of my hopes and dreams of finding that someone. 'Cause it never seemed that I would find real love. I never knew love could be real until I saw you. I never knew how love should feel until I touched you. I never knew what love could do. The way you changed my life. It changed my life. That was better than even I realized. I never knew. Girl, I think you know you stole my heart, melting my emotions from the start. Now my life with you is something I adore. What you mean to me, I'll treasure evermore. I never knew love could be real until I saw you. How love should feel until I touched
friend. I did.